Good morning. For Traders Exclusive, this is George Kachuk for RCM Wealth Advisors, reporting to you from the CME Group trading floor in Chicago. Well, we're going to take a look at the equity markets again, and the equity markets continue to be accumulated by institutions. Basically, we're seeing a little bit of a pullback today, but generally, as we talked about over the last few weeks, the weight of the evidence is still to the upside. So we look at the S&P 500, just slightly off its highs. But if we take a look at a weekly chart, we'll see over the last few weeks, the volume on a weekly basis has been much greater on the up weeks than on the down weeks. And that continues to point to heavy accumulations by institutions. Similarly, we continue to see the same thing on the Nasdaq. Take a look at the weekly charts, and the weekly volume on those up weeks when the Nasdaq powered higher is much stronger than the weeks where we're seeing some retracements. Now, true, one can say that the S&P right now is about 9% above its 200-day line, which gives it a little bit ripe for a pullback. So that may or may not happen, something to keep in the back of your mind, but the whole point is generally it's being accumulated. Similar in the Nasdaq, it's about 11% off its 200-day line. So we're seeing a pullback on these lighter volumes. Not a big deal at this point. So that's something, again, keep your eye on and keep mindful that it's still being accumulated. Also, if we look at the Russell 2000, that's basically been in a range since mid-December. That's a small cap index, and that may pretty much tell us which way the market may go. Meaning, when we see small caps rising, that tells us risk is on, or if it starts falling, risk is off. And right now, we're just in a tight trading range, so that's just something to keep an eye on that might tell us the direction of the market. Now, we want to take a look at some individual names. We talked about the last few weeks, financials and biotech technology stocks, how they've been performing. So let's get into some specific names. So we take a look at the mega cap stocks. So right now we have stocks like Amazon, Alibaba, Google trading in a very tight range, and depends which way they break. That may tell us something about the market. We have mega caps like Facebook and Apple that are a little bit extended right now, and Netflix is this morning bouncing off its 50-day line, pretty heavy volume. So that's something that may be actionable there. Now, we take a look at financial stocks. Basically, financial stocks, they make a move, they trade sideways, make another move. So right now, right at the sort of pivotal areas, we're trading tight. We can have Goldman Sachs, a large bank, doing that type of action. Western Alliance, symbol WAL, similarly looking that way. Evercore, symbol EVR, also trading in a very tight range, right in a pivotal area. Other stocks that are showing similar action are some of the small regional banks, or some large regional banks like Regions Financial, that's symbols RF, Seacoast Banking, SBCF, and then also we saw MBFI, that was a leader, kind of corrected and now reclaimed its 50-day line on pretty good volume. That symbol's MBFI. So there's some names to keep an eye on. Some of the stronger stocks in that financial sector have been like Bank of America and Primerica Life Insurance. Those are a little bit extended now, so you don't want to chase that. Take a look at things that are trading tight. Similarly, technology stocks, a lot of semiconductor stocks are a little bit extended. However, we can take a look at Advanced Energy, that symbol is AEIS. That's trading in a pretty tight range. See if it can move higher. That's something you might want to consider. Now, if we take a look at some of the biotech stocks, now biotech stocks are tricky because a lot of them don't make money, so you're betting on hope. Of course, some of the mega ones do make money. But if you don't like individual names, you can take a look at the ETFs. There's IBB, or the XBI, or the FBT, or the BBP. They're all biotech ETFs that represent different types of biotech stocks. So that's something that you might consider. Now, looking at some of the individual names, large caps, you have Celgene is approaching a 127 pivot. Right now, it's trading about 123. You have Biogen trading in the 290s. Its pivotal point is about 312.5. If it can take that out, those may be actionable. Now, some of the stocks that are right at a little bit more risky, but are right at the pivotal area of Supernus, that's symbol SUPN, or Seattle Genetics, SGEN, that's sort of right in the pivotal area. And of course, we had some of the small, very kind of sort of speculative names getting extended, running away. Stocks like Excelsis, that symbol is EXAEL, or Calithera, that symbol is CALA, and, or BioCris, which is right at the pivot point, that symbol is BCRX. So it had a little bit of everything. Now, for the disclaimer, none of these are buy recommendations. These are just things you can take a look at, consult your financial advisor to see if any of these trades are for you. So the whole point of all this is we have a market that's being accumulated. We have some signals that we'll look for how the mega caps perform or how the small caps, which way they decide to move out of this range. That may tell us the general direction of the market. But for now, it's being accumulated. I would take a look at some of the stocks that are trading tightly. But as always, let price and volume be your guide. This is George Kachuk with RCM Wealth Advisors, reporting to you from the CME Group trading floor in Chicago. Have a great trading week.